Welcome back to the Jim Miller for President Sports Program on the BWC Network. Corey Bender was in the studio with us. We thank him for sharing his NFL expertise tonight, and back with Ryan Hartz and Tim Kirshning is here for my final segment on this fine show. And Ryan, it's come a long way. It's been 3 years of doing the show on and off. We did have a bit of a hiatus for a while, but it all started with a dream. You remember that, man?
I do.
You came to me that
Fell asleep in social studies class.
Social studies in 8th grade. It was January or something, and you came to me in math class, first hour the next day or something. I had a dream in study hall that we were on this sports show. It's called the Jim Miller for President Sports Program. I think that I want to, in my last segment, explain how the name came to be of the show. Was that
we should get to that.
It's the weirdest name first. It's probably a reason that we have not gotten the views that we got.
Because it's terrible.
Nobody knows what JMFPSP is.
JMFPSP. I mean, it's the worst acronym.
I know.
We really did a bad job.
We've been using it the whole time.
That is a regret that I have. Terrible job naming the show, and you refuse to change the name. Since then, we now kick you out, and I can name the show whatever the hell I want. It's brilliant.
Well, I remember in October 2008. Yeah, we were doing the Jim Miller for president because it was the student council elections, and everyone was putting up their posters. They were like, "Yeah, vote for this white kid." And we were making our own. It started with Mr. Bubbles, and I made Jim Miller, Will Smith, and Lou Piniella or something like that. Jim Miller was our favorite one out of all of them. So then I came back to you in February on a dream that we were on a show with Mike and Mike. And I remember your insult in that dream was what Golick said, "Shut up, Tim, you're 34 and you still have acne." And that was the big inside joke of
that was good. I remember that. Shut up, Tim, you're 34 and you still have acne.
The dream, and then we decided to make it a reality. You broke out my laptop that one cold day in my basement.
It was the coldest day in the history of the state of Illinois.
I remember
that.
Yeah.
I remember that, reading that in the newspaper that morning. I am going to make a sports show on the coldest day in the history of the state of Illinois. My mom driving around, "I can't believe we have to go out. It's so cold. I don't want to have to drive."
And our first topic was another dream you had. So you were having some crazy dreams then, man. And the JMFPSP was founded on dreams, and it just took off from there. And then after a while, we came back, New Year's Eve last year, and we said, "Hey, let's start getting serious about this."
Yeah.
And, so then we put together some Twitter pages on January 1st, and we launched the full-on social network attack of the Jim Miller President Sports Program and the BWC Network, my company.
A lot of renaming that went on.
Yeah, we had
a long discussion.
Couple of disputes.
We had a dispute. It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
2 things were going on at the same time. One, our art director, Matt Lynch, was creating our new logo, and simultaneously you and I were complaining because you were like, "I don't want to call it internet media." And I was like, "Well, what the hell do we call it?" And we couldn't really figure it out, and after what felt like an hour and a half of very productive discussion, it wasn't like Congress is in Washington, D.C. It was very productive. It was nice. It was polite. And we got a lot done. And we decided on the BWC Network, which is, of course, the lovely name we have today.
The combination of the YouTube channels and everything that goes into the BWC workings and output that we have and everything. And we did have a setback earlier involving the Rogers Gate, if you will. But a couple of our videos got removed thanks to the strict copyright laws of YouTube. Damn. But and then we find ourselves coming into the nail biter of whether we had the NFL season or not. What would we have talked about on JMFPSP if we had no NBA or NFL?
A lot of baseball playoffs. Which notice we haven't done a baseball playoff segment yet. I did a Terry Francona segment. I'm going to do when the Theo Epstein thing finally gets finalized, I'll have a editorial about that, if you will. So. Mm-hmm. That'll be exciting. You can also check it out in the St. Charles North High School newspaper in November.
All right. The Stargazer, man.
Writing an article about that in there.
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm advertising that. No one really cares. In fact, you're more likely to read it in the paper than hear it on the internet. Honestly.
Probably. What was the most views you ever got? About 120 something on.
Oh God, we had that Dirk Nowitzki video.